हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, तेरा प्यार मोक्ष का आनंद है माँ। हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, तेरा प्यार मोक्ष का आनंद है माँ। तू स्वर की देवी, ये संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है, हर गीत तुझसे। तू स्वर की देवी, ये संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है, हर गीत तुझसे। हम पार सहज में तेरी कृपा से, हम पार सहज में तेरी कृपा से, निर्मल विद्या का वरदान दे माँ। हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, तेरा प्यार मोक्ष का आनंद है माँ। देवों ने समझी, मुनियों ने जानी, चैतन्य की भाषा, पुराणों की बानी। देवों ने समझी, मुनियों ने जानी, चैतन्य की भाषा, पुराणों की बानी। साधक समझे, मानव ये जाने, साधक समझे, मानव ये जाने, ये अनमोल घड़ियां, ये अवतार तेरा। हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, तेरा प्यार मोक्ष का आनंद है माँ। तू आदि शक्ति सहस्त्रार विराजे, चैतन्य लुटाए, सतयुग जगाए। तू आदि शक्ति सहस्त्रार विराजे, चैतन्य लुटाए, सतयुग जगाए। विश्व की जननी तू महादेवी, विश्व की जननी तू महादेवी, तेरा पुत्र बनने की पात्रता दे माँ। हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, हे निर्मल माँ, तेरा प्यार मोक्ष का आनंद है माँ। तेरा प्यार मोक्ष का आनंद है माँ। तेरा प्यार मोक्ष का आनंद है माँ।
जयश्वंत जी भैया।
जय श्री माता जी। आयुष की मेरी आवाज ऐसे आ रही है?
जी भैया, आ रही है आवाज।
Shree Mataji to everyone. Sorry for that delay due to some technical issues today. Just to let you know about the sessions that are being organized on this YouTube channel and on this Zoom link, we have daily 3 sessions going on. Ayush, let me know if my voice is not okay at any point of time.
जय श्री माता जी भैया। भैया, you are not audible.
Better now, Ayush?
Yes.
Okay. So the idea behind these sessions is really to give you a brief introduction about what Sahaja Yoga is and talk about how it is different, what are our benefits, and then we go for a self-realization session where we get the actual experience of our self-realization. And post that, if there are any questions or you want to speak with us, you can do that on YouTube chat or by joining the Zoom link, you can speak directly with us. Apart from this, we have a daily session at 5:30 p.m. for seekers who have now understood the basics and now want to go into deeper meditation sessions. So that's at 5:30 p.m. every day. So now, without spending any more time here on this introduction, let's start. So, Sahaja Yoga, the word was coined by Shree Mataji, Nirmala Devi, whose photograph you can see behind me, in 1970 when she started this practice. Sahaja Yoga has now spread all across the world. So people of all countries, all religions, all types, as we can say, follow Sahaja Yoga method of meditation, we can say. And it's been, propagated like this only without any monetization or any intent of, making it a very organized play or something like that, but just word of mouth, people like me talking to you and so on and so forth. Because in Sahaja Yoga, Shree Mataji has put a very important condition that there can be no money given or taken for this, because this is God's work. There's nothing that you can really pay to achieve it. It's all free of cost because it's so invaluable that you cannot pay for it. Sahaj, the word literally means something that is very simple, that happens on its own, is spontaneous. Every living thing is actually Sahaj, spontaneous. So a sprouting of a seed is Sahaj. We don't know how, when exactly it will happen. One cannot plant a seed and say that on this day, this time, this will become a tree and then become a fruit. This is all spontaneous, happens on its own by the power of Mother Earth and what is already residing inside the seed. Similarly, this happening of yoga happens inside us. The word yoga is fairly misunderstood these days. Yoga literally means the union. Union of what? Union of the self with the divine. In all of us resides the self, what is called as Atma, which is a reflection of the divine. But it has not come into our attention. We are all thinking of ourselves as something that is very different of a personality. We have our ego, we have our thoughts, and thus we're not connected to the divine. So connecting of that self with the divine is what is yoga, is what has been described in our various scriptures by various saints, has been briefly talked about or talked about in a way that has not become very clear in the past by various saints. There's a huge list of them who have allured to Kundalini awakening and self-realization in various different forms. When they say that they become peer, or when they say that they have achieved the highest or in different forms. They have talked about it. But we have really not understood it. And we know that in our country, this has been the heritage of seeking God. And then um, we have had so many stories about saints going to hills and dales and trying to get it. And it's been very difficult what we have heard of. And it seems like this is something not for all of us. This is something for very few that are really the type of people who can go to hills and dales and sit there and meditate for years together, etc., etc. Not for us. That is why Shree Mataji Nirmala Devi started Sahaja. It's actually most important that all of us get it. It's not enough that some far and few people get it and then they come and talk about it in the world and then nobody understands it. The ones who are talking about it are really today, the ones who are, so many of them are really not even real gurus or realized souls. And then we later figure out that they're, false people who have been lying to us. That's the whole problem, because the ones who really get it actually do not talk about it. And the reason is because they think that the normal generation cannot understand it. Normal population cannot understand it. So the difference is explained like this by Shree Mataji, that people who are born on 10th level, who are already realized, who can see the world in a very different light, in a different awareness, talk about something. So for example, Kabira talked about so much. He's talked about Ida, Pingla, Sukhman, Nadi. He's given Mool, Kamal, Par, Asan, Lagaunga. He's talked about the chakras, everything. And nobody's understood what he's been saying. So he says that Sab jag andha kise samjha. The whole world is blind. Whom should I explain this to? So people who are born at a very higher awareness are not able to explain this to people who are like us. And then we think that they have been all talking rubbish. And then we make their lives hell. Whenever saints have come on this earth, we have tortured their lives very badly. Right from Shri Sainath to Adi Shankaracharya to Muhammad Sahib, Jesus Christ. You name anybody that the world now adores and builds big, big palaces in their names. But when they were on this earth, we all tortured them very badly because we just could not understand, accept them. Our egos were not allowing this, whatever the case. But that difference always remained, which is why when they were on this earth, we could never really match up to what they were seeing. We would see the world in a very different way. The way of Sahaja Yoga is such that all of us get our self-realization very quickly. It's like the spark comes in that spark, you can see what all is wrong with this lamp. Let's say we have a lamp that is not working well. So in the dark, we try to clean it, we try to put it right, etc., etc. Nothing works because you don't know what is wrong. So that has been the way of the past, where Patanjali has talked about Ashtanga yogas, where people do yam, niyam, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, all those things were there. You prepare yourself to get your realization, physically, mentally, everything. But unless you really know what to do, all of that becomes a very, very tedious and difficult process. But let's say you've got a little light in that lamp. You can see what is really wrong. You just clean it and cure it. That's what helps you in putting it right. That's the way of Sahaja Yoga, where we get our Kundalini awakened and our realization happens. And for the very first time, we get connected with the divine. For the very first time, we really know that there is, in fact, a divine whom we can connect with. His power flows through us, and we can, in fact, use that power to completely put ourselves all right, make our lives much better, and even make others' lives better by giving them self-realization. So this power comes to us as cool breeze in our hands in meditation. It's described as Salilam Salilam Chaitanya by Adi Guru Shankaracharya. He says in his book called Saundarya Lahari that when Mother's grace dawns upon us, we feel Chaitanya Salilam Salilam, like cool breeze. It's been called as cool breeze of the Holy Ghost in Bible. In Quran, it said that when Qiyamah's time will come, your resurrection time will come. Your hands will speak and will give witness against you. These things have not been discussed much in all of these religions because they've not been understood by anybody. Gyaneshwar, Sant Gyaneshwar from Maharashtra talked about Atma Sakshatkar very detailed way, in a very detailed way in his Gyaneshwari Gita. In the sixth chapter, he talked about it. And the religious people of that time said that this chapter is Nishiddha, that means no one can read it. It's because nobody really understood. But this cool breeze comes to us and we feel it in our hands in meditation. We also feel our different centers, what is wrong with them. We can use these vibrations to cure those centers. Today, many of us are coming to Sahaja Yoga for or going to various other places as well because we have various problems that are not really getting cured by any other way, not getting solved by any other way. For example, many of us have this mental stress these days. There are stress management courses going on, and people are not able to really manage their lives at all. Such a high-paced society today. We're working tirelessly, and we have no time for our life or our family or anything that makes us relaxed. And we have to keep doing it because we are in such a competitive space. Our peers are doing this, they're earning so much, or they're studying like this, and all of that pressure is really ruining lives. Apart from that, we have physical troubles that are not getting cured, or we have family issues, or we have some other issue. People have mental troubles also. All of this is happening because there is something that is not perfectly okay with us. There is something that is higher self that we have to achieve. And even when we solve all of these problems, let's say today I have some money trouble, I get into a better job, and I think now my life will be better. I do that, but then I'm not satisfied. Then I have some family troubles, then I try to solve that. So one after other, it goes on. And slowly and gradually, people realize that I'm not getting the real joy that I thought that I will get once I get this. Because our desires have not been pure till now. Economics says that wants are generally not satiable. So they say that we'll never be satisfied. But unless we are really satisfied, we'll never feel the peace, the bliss, and the joy that we are really looking out for. So that happens to some of us where we realize that this doesn't give me the joy, this doesn't give me the joy, this doesn't give me. Yan neti neti vachni, as Adi Shankaracharya said. That's when we realize that there is something higher, and that's when we turn to something of spirituality. That again has its pitfalls because so many wrong things have come in that way. But when we do that, when we turn towards spirituality, is when we can really achieve the higher self and achieve our self-realization. So in Sahaja Yoga, all of these troubles that we talked about slowly and gradually get solved, get resolved. Even our physical troubles, many people have gotten cured of so many incurable diseases. That happens because this power, as we talked about, starts flowing through us, through our hands, and we start feeling the all-pervading power of God that we say that is all around us for the first time. That divine connection happens and we get our yoga. This is what we are talking about in Sahaja Yoga, and this is what we are aiming to do, is all of us to get connected to the divine. Once that happens, our lives improve, society improves, and we really achieve something that is of a very higher awareness, and we lead a very, very enjoyable and joyous life. So briefly, for introduction, that's good enough. What we'll do is very quickly run through the chart that we will see right now is our internal subtle system. So from the outside, we all look very different, and we have different colors and different structures, etc. But from the inside, we have a system that has been built in, let's say, from our very birth. And that system now we have seen in various pictures. But what we'll do is just quickly talk about it a little. Ayush, are you putting it up? till Ayush puts it up. Uh, when we were in our mother's womb, the energy of the divine that we say has created us, let's say, entered our brain from the very top. So this is the area that we see in children is a very soft spot. It pulsates, like clubbed up. And this is the place from where this energy enters inside of us. It gets refracted because our brain is a prism-shaped entity. It gets refracted into three parts. The one coming from right goes to the left, the one coming from left goes to the right, and the one in the center does the creation of these centers inside of us, which we know as chakras or energy centers or whatever name we can call it. After doing all of this, the energy that is residual, that is left, comes down and settles in our triangular bone. There's a triangular bone at the very end of our spine. It has been called as sacrum bone. So the Greeks somehow or other knew that this bone is sacred. That's why they named it sacred. This energy comes down and settles here. While settling, it forms coils, 3.5 coils. This is the pure desire, pure energy inside of us. We're talking about how we have impure desires and none of them really give us the satisfaction because we have not desired for the highest. This is the energy of our pure desire. Awakening of this and connecting us with the divine gives us the real, true satisfaction and joy and peace. This is our mother. She has been with us all our lives and knows everything about us. She's our individual mother. For all of us, we have one individual mother, the Divine One. Our goal is to give us our second birth. Our self-realization is called as our second birth because up till now, it's called as a Dvija, the realized soul. So first it comes as an egg. Dvija is also a bird. So it comes as an egg, it sees the world only inside the egg. But once it breaks through, it can see the world in a very different way. That's what happens to us when we get our realization. We get a new awareness, something that now is completely missing till now. So the goal of Kundalini, our mother, is to give us our self-realization. We will quickly talk about the various nadis and chakras also, and then go for meditation. On the left-hand side that you see in blue is called as the Ida Nadi. This is the channel of our past. This is the channel of our emotions, our desires, all of them emanate from here. People who are very, very emotional work on this channel quite a lot. Doing any kind of extremes in Sahaja Yoga actually leads to various problems because of imbalances getting created inside of us. So this channel, when overutilized, being the moon channel, gets cooled enough and causes various troubles inside of us, which are psychosomatic diseases and cannot be cured easily by doctors. We feel the status of this channel on our left palm in meditation. Similarly, on the right-hand side that you see is the channel called as the Pingala Nadi. This is the sun channel. It's responsible for all our actions. It's also the channel of future. People who are very futuristic, ambitious, work too much on this channel. People who are working too much. Let's say who are too much working in the office or doing some physical work or mental work, planning, etc. All of that heats this channel up and causes a lot of troubles inside of us. These imbalances in these two channels are really the source of all our troubles. We feel the status of this right channel on our right palm in meditation. In the center is what we call as the Sushumna Nadi. The Sushumna Nadi is the path for Kundalini to awaken. This is the central path. This is the present, neither the past nor the future, but the present. And this is the path that has been talked about. For example, Lord Buddha has always said that you have to take a central path, be in the middle. So this is the reason that they have talked about leading a balanced life that is on neither extremes, so that when the right time comes for us to get a realization, we can get it. People who are leading normal, stable lives easily get it, whereas people who have too much extreme-sided lives are usually they take some time, but they get it. Now, to talk about the various chakras. These chakras are in fact on the physical end are manifested as plexuses. These are the energy centers inside of us that are really running our whole system, whether it be physical, whether it be mental, whether it be emotional, whether it be spiritual. Thus, there are various reasons for these chakras in these four categories to get affected or not be all right. But they are also the crossing points of various channels, various nadis inside of us. And they take care of all the organs that we can imagine around those chakras. So for example, the first one that we see here is called as the Mooladhara chakra in red. This Mooladhara chakra is, so there are various qualities also adorned by the deities that are present in these chakras. When we go against those qualities, these chakras are affected. For example, here, the qualities are innocence and wisdom. So innocent people have a very good Mooladhara chakra, whereas the cunning ones don't. People who go against purity or against innocence in terms of sex, etc., also ruin this chakra very badly. But once this chakra is awakened, we have pure wisdom and we are very innocent people. It's said in Bible that only children can enter into the kingdom of God. We have to be children like pure and innocent to really get our realization. So when this chakra is awakened, we get pure wisdom, especially in children. This chakra being awakened is very helpful. They can always take the right decisions in their lives. This chakra we can feel in meditation on this part, where the wrist meets our palm on both the hands. So every chakra has three parts, left, right, and center. After this comes in yellow, the Mooladhara chakra. This is, the Swadhisthana chakra in yellow that we see here. The quality that is written here as is creativity. All our creative powers come from this chakra. All the art forms that we can think of come from this chakra. Our dynamism in doing any work that we do, whether it be office work or home work or anything, it comes from this chakra. Now, this is the chakra where also resides the pure knowledge of the divine on the left-hand side. So when we go to, let's say, tantrikas or such kind of people, this chakra is ruined very badly. Whereas in meditations, in Sahaja Yoga, we know the real science of how to cure the diseases or put the chakras all right or give realization to others. All of this comes from this chakra. On the right-hand side, we can see it's very interesting. The right channel actually starts from this chakra. So people who think a lot, plan a lot, work a lot, all of that they're actually doing by using this chakra, because the gray cells in our brain that we use to think are actually converted from the fat cells in our stomach or around our stomach from this chakra. So that work is done by Swadhisthana chakra. Now this conversion, if it's being done quite a lot, Swadhisthana is not able to take care of our liver, pancreas, spleen, etc. Thus, you will find that those organs will go wrong or off. For people who think a lot, other ones will get maybe diabetes. For people who take a lot of stress in work, etc., may get liver troubles. So all of that imbalance comes to us because of this. Putting it right in meditation brings all of that back into balance. We feel this chakra on both our thumbs in meditation. After this comes in green, the Nabhi chakra, the navel center, also called as Manipur chakra. All these centers are actually in our spine. This chakra is taking care of all our benevolence, you can say, in life, in at the very gross level. For example, even our monetary life, or let's say even our family life, all of those wounds come to us from this chakra. And we feel very satisfied and we get the satisfaction of life in all forms. All of that boon comes to us. And thus, we become very generous people. We also give to others. Miserly people catch a lot of this chakra. People who have money troubles are the ones catching on this chakra. People who have family troubles are the ones who catch on this chakra quite a lot. Also, one great boon of this chakra is our seeking. At animal stage, through this chakra, we were seeking, let's say, food or something else, things like that. In human stage, we are seeking, say, money or power or love or family or fame or something like that. Slowly and gradually, that turns into seeking of God, and thus we move towards our realization. This chakra is represented on both our middle fingers. Around this, we see in a green thing is called as the void or the bhavsagar. We may have heard the reference of bhavsagara quite a lot because in our bhajans in Indian culture it's mentioned. This bhavsagar is actually the space of religion inside of us, the dharma, the real dharma, which is not Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, etc. This religion is the innate religion that tells us what is right, what is wrong. This is the one that is always there, and it tells us that don't do this. Something inside us tells us, right? So let's say we see something very bad happening, we may end up puking, or taking alcohol is also something like that when we end up puking. This was established by great primordial masters who happened across the world at different times and ages, and we respect and worship all of them in such way. This chakra is also caught up when we go to wrong masters, wrong gurus, because this is a place of the guru principle. So if we take to wrong gurus, this chakra is caught up and we feel it moving like this in meditation. This is the spot for this chakra, both hands. After this comes the Anhat chakra. This is the place for security, self-confidence, all of that inside of us. When we feel insecure by any shape, by any activity, or by any chance, let's say women who have insecurities with their families or husbands, may be the ones who may get breast cancer. Kids who get sick a lot are probably the ones who feel afraid a lot. It's also the place where antibodies get created inside of us. So upon awakening of Kundalini, of course, all of that gets reestablished. On the right-hand side is the father principle inside of us. If that gets affected in any way, the chakra is cut up. Similarly, on the left-hand side is the mother principle. On the left-hand side is also the place of the spirit inside of us. What is Atma? It's actually a reflection of Paramatma inside all of us. When the Kundalini awakens, that spark comes into the spirit and it comes into our attention. And then the spirit becomes the driver. Up until now, it has been either our ego, our thoughts, or something else. But the Atma has not yet been in our chitta. We feel the center on both our small fingers. After this comes the Vishuddhi chakra in our throat at the back. This is the place for our true sense of collectivity. Collectivity that is not just mental. But when the Kundalini awakens and crosses this chakra, we know that we are really part and parcel of the whole. This whole macrocosm that we know as the Virat, we are a wee bit part of it. And thus we are all connected. We know that we are connected in meditation through vibrations because we can check anybody else's vibrations and cure them as well, even if they're sitting halfway across the world. Our communication happens through this chakra, so the outer part of our face, ear, etc., all of that, and our arms also, our throat, our nose, our tongue, etc. So this chakra is responsible for all of that. One big trouble in Sahaja Yoga with people catching on this chakra is that once this chakra is not okay, we do not feel the vibrations in our hands, because the nerves of our hands actually come from this chakra. Now, why this chakra is caught up on the left-hand side is mostly because people feel guilty a lot. We feel guilty because that is how we've been told that, you have done this wrong, you've done that wrong. Even now, when we are listening to this session, we're probably thinking, oh, I cannot get it because I'm I'm so bad, I've done this path, etc., etc. All of that sense has been there, and thus we catch on this chakra quite long. The thing to understand in Sahaja Yoga is that there's nothing that we can do that Lord Almighty in His grace cannot forgive. And we must leave it to them. The judgment should be left to the Almighty for Him to decide if we have done anything wrong. And even if we have, we must ask forgiveness and just not do it. So this chakra, we have to really pray that we are not guilty a lot in meditation so that we do not catch on this. Otherwise, we do not feel the vibrations. On the right hand side, it's the opposite, where we tell others you are good for nothing. We shout at them a lot, aggress with our words, be bombastic, or always talk about ourselves quite a lot and use bad words. And even people taking tobacco, etc., are catching on this chakra. We feel this chakra on our index fingers. After this is the Arche chakra. This is at the very optic chiasma where there's actually a crossing like this in our brain. And it takes care of the pineal and pituitary bodies inside of us. This is the constricted path that we can see. The only way for Kundalini to cross through this chakra is once we forgive. Until and unless we forgive, really in meditation, this cannot happen. That's the quality of this chakra, also forgiveness. After this, you can see that there are two balloon-like things shown here. This is in all of us. One or the other is stopping the path for Kundalini to pass through. What are these two things? Are really our ego and superego. Whatever actions we do in life, even if we think that we are not egoistic people, it forms some bit of ego at least. In some people, it forms a lot. Whereas on the other side, people who learn a lot with their life learnings, they have conditionings built in. All of those people develop superego. One or the other is always constructing the path. And thus, the path for Kundalini to pass through is always, it's stopped by them. But once we forgive on Arche Chakra, Kundalini passes through and it sucks in both these entities. So in a way, it eats up all our karmas that we are thinking about so much right now. Once that happens, the path is open. Arche Chakra is felt on both our ring fingers in meditation. Once this passes through, the last chakra that we see here is Sahasrara. This is the chakra for our integration with the divine. All the chakras actually get integrated into this chakra, and we become an integrated personality after our realization happens by Kundalini piercing through this chakra and meeting the divine. This is called as Brahma Randra. The Randra means the hole to meet the Brahma, the divine. Once this is opened, the all-pervading power of God starts flowing through us, and we feel that in our palms in meditation and also on the top of our head. So we'll do that now. We go for the meditation, self-realization experience. There are a few steps that you can see before you go for that. And what we'll do is just play them out here on the screen for you to see. We are made of 5 elements, and thus utilizing them helps us in bringing ourselves to balance and correcting ourselves before going into meditation. So as a first step, we'll keep the left hand open in our laps and the right hand on the Mother Earth. Ayush, would you be putting that up? So in the first step, we'll keep the left hand in our lap and the right hand on the Mother Earth. These are the steps that you can just hear out now, and later we'll do in meditation. The next step, we'll put the right hand in our lap and the left hand like this, bent from the elbow towards the sky. These steps are for balancing our 3 channels. After this, we'll keep both our hands on the Mother Earth. So these are the balancing steps. After this, now we'll keep the left hand in our lap as is, and do the next steps with the right hand. We'll put the right hand on our heart. Here we'll do some prayers and meditation. It's the place of spirit inside of us. After this, we bring this hand to our forehead and place it across like we would in a headache and bend our head forward a little. After this, we bring this hand to the back of our head, push back our head towards the sky. In the last step, we'll stretch our palm and fingers completely, fingers outwards, and place the center of our palm at the top of our head, which was a soft bone when we were children, and we'll move the hand while pressing in a clockwise direction. This is what we'll do. After this, we'll see the vibrations in our hands and the top of our head. And do one more prayer with the hands completely towards the sky. But these are the steps. This is all that we'll do in meditation right now. One thing to understand is that just doing these steps and prayers is not enough. Shree Mataji's photograph is the one that really does it for us. I always use this example while explaining this, but Shivaji Maharaj, as you know of, he had a guru called Ramdas Swami, a realized soul. Shivaji Maharaj asked him that, how long does it take for us to get a realization? He said, it happens that shan. That means that very second. It's just that we need to have someone to give it and someone to take it. We just have to become the ones who are ready to take it. Because Shree Mataji is here to give it to us. Our photograph emanates, it's very, very special. And we have to just accept that. And the photograph emanates those vibrations that does this great job inside of us. So we have to look at a photograph with complete humility, complete respect. We'll keep just one pure desire inside of us. We have to get our self-realization. Slowly, we'll close our eyes and bring our attention inside. We'll see what is happening right now. Sit a little straight, not very straight. Both the hands open in our lap, like we are asking for something. And sit comfortably. Something very, very, very important that we're going to do. So prepare yourself for that. Now we will do the steps that we had just seen. Put the right hand on the Mother Earth. Keep the left hand as is in our lap. Here we will pray that Mother, please clear out my Ida Nadi. Please take out all the impurities and negativities from my left channel into the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring my Ida Nadi into complete balance. And bring our attention to our left palm and see what is happening right now. Mother, please take out all the impurities of my Ida Nadi through Mother Earth. Bring the right hand back into our lap and put the left hand towards the sky, bent from the elbow. This is for clearing out our right channel. We will pray. Mother, please clear out my Pingla Nadi. Please take out all the impurities and negativities from my Pingla Nadi into the ether element. We'll bring our attention to both of our palms and see what is happening. Mother, please bring my Pingla Nadi into complete balance. We'll bring our hand back into our lap. Now we'll place both the hands on the Mother Earth. Both the hands on the Mother Earth. Here we have to pray. Mother, please bring me into complete balance. Whatever impurities are still left from my Ida and Pingla Nadis, please take them out into the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring me into complete balance, into the present, into the center. We'll bring our hands back into our lap. Now we'll keep the left hand as is open in our lap. Do the next steps with the right hand. We'll place the right hand on our heart. Here resides our spirit. Here we have to assert a truth, the greatest truth, that Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Actually, we are not this body, this mind, these emotions, this ego. Whatever we think of ourselves, this is all actually unreal. The only eternal thing is the Atma, the spirit. So we'll say it with full confidence that Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Now, as I am the pure spirit, I am not guilty at all. Mother, I am not guilty at all. We had seen that feeling guilty causes a lot of trouble. So we'll leave it to God Almighty to judge and not feel guilty at all. We'll say with full confidence that Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Now we bring this hand to our forehead and place it across as you would when you would have a headache. While placing this hand, we'll bend our head forwards a little. Here, we have to forgive everyone. We have to say that, Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive everyone. And really just forgive. Don't need to remember anyone. Don't need to think of anyone. As a blanket, we give forgiveness to all. By doing this, actually, we leave it to God to judge again. And then God takes over. Until now, we've really not done anything about those who have done wrong with us. But by forgiving, we do. So we say that, Mother, I forgive everyone. I forgive myself also. Now we bring this hand at the back of our head where we place the pillow. Push back our head towards the sky. Here, for our own satisfaction, we have to say that, oh God, oh Lord Almighty, if we have done any wrong against you, please forgive us. Oh God, if I have done any wrong, knowingly or unknowingly, against you, please forgive me. You can bring this hand back into a lap for resting for a second. Now we'll bring our right hand at the top of our head and place our palm at the fontanel bone area, which was the soft spot when we were children. And while pressing it, we push the fingers backward, pressing with the palm at the fontanel bone area. We'll move it in a clockwise direction. While pressing with our palm, we'll move it in a clockwise direction so that our scalp moves along with it. Here we must ask. Without our asking, this cannot happen. So very humbly we have to say that, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my yoga, my union with the divine. Mother, please give me Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give me the yoga. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Bring this hand back into a lap. Both the hands open in a lap. Our attention where our hand was at the Sahasrara Chakra. And we sit for meditation for a few seconds. Now, we'll bring our attention to both of our palms. At the very center of these palms, we'll bring our attention and see if there is a cool breeze coming out of one hand or both the hands. It could also be warm or hot for some of us. We'll also bring our attention to the end points of our fingers, fingertips. If there is a prickling sensation, bit of a stinging in one or two fingers, we'll see. These are the centers that are catching. Now we'll bring a right hand again at the top of our head, where we had placed it earlier, the fontanel bone, and raise the right hand a little bit above the fontanel bone. We'll raise the right hand a little bit above the fontanel bone Move it forward, backward, left, right. See, from a particular place, there would be cool breeze coming out of our head and touching our hand. Could be hot also for some of us. We'll bring the right hand back into our lap and check the same thing with our left hand. We'll place the left hand just a few inches above our frontal bone area and move it forward, backward, left, right a little. See if there's a breeze coming out of our head touching our hand. It could be cool or it could be warm. Now, as a last step, we'll put both our hands towards the sky, completely straight, elbow straight. Our palms open towards the sky. We'll ask one of these three questions 3 times. Any question 3 times. Mother, is this the Param Chaitanya? Is this the divine power of God? Is this the power of love of God that does everything? Ask the question 3 times. And then bring our hands back into our lap slowly. Once again, we'll put our attention at the top of our head and sit for quiet meditation for a few seconds. We will now slowly open our eyes. Look at Shree Mataji's photograph. You will find that there are no thoughts. This is the first step, the first boon that we get post realization. It's the thoughtless awareness state. We'll bring both our hands together in a namaskar to Shree Mataji and the Kundalini Mother inside for this blissful experience. I'd request those of us who have recently joined us to continue this experience in session for some time so that it gets established inside of us. It's like sprouting of a seed that needs to become a tree. We have to meditate daily, cleanse ourselves, keep ourselves protected, and join collective meditations in physical centers also to really establish ourselves. How to do all of that, Ayush will now help us with. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji. If someone have any questions, they can ask their questions on the YouTube live chat. Either join us on the Zoom meeting and talk to us, speak to us, and ask their questions. There are 3 sessions live streamed every day for the new seekers. First one is in the morning, 8 a.m. Another one is at the evening, 4:15 p.m. And the last one at 7:45 p.m. And the people joining the sessions from last few days and have the knowledge of about chakras and nadis, they can Now join the deep meditation sessions, which are live streamed at 5:30 p.m. in the evening. Jai Shri Mataji.
Also, there are our WhatsApp groups. So anybody who wants to join can just click on the links provided in the YouTube chat and join them to know more. Ayush, yes, there are no questions, I believe. You can take Shree Mataji's permission and end the session.
Thank you, Shri Mataji, for the wonderful live session. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.